Hi, welcome back to Mysteries Channel. I'm in a different position today. The sun is super bright, and no matter where I move around to in this room down here, I am just going to whitewash the video. So I apologize if I'm moving around a lot. I'm just trying not to be super bright, if you know what I mean. All right, so what are we talking about today? Today, we're going to talk about the ley lines. The ley lines I was supposed to talk about days ago. Then I got off on my damn tangent. Now I'm coming back. I'm going to circle back to where I started. Ley lines. What are they? Where are they said to exist? Is it real? Is it not real? Do we use them today? Well, it's kind of complicated and it goes deep, 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 deep. So maybe we just go through some of the history first and then we can go deeper into it and figure out the rest of the questions. So, in 1921, Alfred Watkins theorized that ancient cultures knew about an energy that moves around the earth and that they built many of their megalithic structures, sacred monuments to correspond with those energies. Stonehenge, Hagia Sophia, Mecca, the Acropolis, the pyramids of Egypt, Mayan, Incan, and Aztec temples, pilgrimage sites, churches, monuments, all of them, or most of them, seem to fall on these lines. Damn, wait, did I say Masada? I didn't, because I couldn't really tell if it was on there or not, so I got to do some more research on that. But man, wouldn't that be interesting if that's what the CIA was really trying to figure out, this line of energy? Just saying. Anyway, he saw that many of the ancient sites around the world fell into an alignment. Many times it was in a straight line, and he coined the term ley lines. Watkins also pointed out that many times the towns and cities on these lines would share similar names regardless of the country that it was in, and he would use this example. If you drew a straight line from the bottom of Ireland straight to Israel, you would come across 7 different land masses that bear the name Michael or forms of Michael in it. Immediately after putting his theory out there, he began receiving flack, and skepticism was met with it as well. Many scholars believe that the position of monuments, many of unimaginable size, across continents throughout the annals of time, are merely coincidence. Crazy, right? Some things don't change. Anyway, interestingly, Watkins' theory, even though he coined the term ley lines, wasn't exactly new. Maybe you've heard of Qi, Feng Shui, mystic lines, dragon lines, medicine wheels, spirit lines, dream lines. These are terms used by natives all over the world, and they are all speaking about that same energy. Or maybe you've heard of divining rods, dowsing rods, tools used to understand energy, materials, or water and where it lies when we can't see or perceive it. In fact, it is said that Alexander the Great was guided by Aristotle to take control over dome centers of power that intersected with lines from the dark forces that controlled them at the moment. Heeding his advice, he took his best general, Ptolemy, and he stationed him in Egypt, the most powerful dome center in his empire. So that's kind of the history of it. It goes way far back, obviously. When you think that ancient peoples all around the world have been talking about this and using this energy, or in the very least understanding about this energy. So maybe we should just talk about the actual energy part of it. Ley lines, or any of those other terms I used prior, are said to be connected to a mystic force field that covers the earth at regular intervals and can be detected by dowsing or divining rods. It is not supposed to be detectable by common scientific instruments, telluric currents, which are actual phenomena and are detectable by scientific instruments. And basically, it kind of breaks down like this. Placing people or other living things in certain spots of the Earth's radiation knots is believed to be beneficial or harmful depending on the radiation flow direction. There are many facets to this, and I'm going to try to break it down the best I can. The radiation is described as a grid-like arrangement of lines at regular intervals that at times intersect each other. The different lines and intersection points and different areas that they flow all have different names. So I'm going to go over some of the stuff that I found. Curry lines, Curry lines run diagonal to the poles east to west. Hartmann lines run both east and west and north and south. They form a grid over the Earth's surface. Black lines. Black lines seem to be naturally generated, although it is not known how. They may be localized and do not form a network in the same way as Hartmann and Curry lines. This could be similar in nature to dead lines of the Qi Feng Shui model, and they could be curved straight at ground level or higher, even found in the upper levels of buildings. There's said to be two types of black lines. One is black and depressed, and the other one is shiny, black, hard, and sharp. They could possibly represent flow lines of a negative type of orgone type energy that was described by Wilhelm Reich. There's also the Schumann resonance. The Schumann resonance are a set of spectrum peaks in the extremely low frequency portion of Earth's electromagnetic field, ELF. Schumann resonance are a global electromagnetic resonance generated and excited by lightning discharges in the cavity formed by the Earth's surface and the ionosphere. Each lightning burst creates an electromagnetic wave that begins to circle around the Earth, captured between Earth's surface and the boundary that is about 60 miles up from the surface. Some of these waves, if they have just the right wavelength, combine, increasing in strength to create a repeating atmospheric heartbeat known as the Schumann resonance. It kind of reminds me of that Tesla video I did where he speaks about sound in the ether. Now there is telluric. A telluric current, from Latin, means earth or earth current, is an electric current that moves underground and through the sea. Telluric currents result from both natural causes and human activity, and the discrete currents interact in complex patterns. Vile vortices. Ivan T. Sanderson asserts that there are 12 vile vortices, and they are situated along particular lines of latitude. 5 of the vortices are on the same latitude to the south of the equator, and then 5 are on the same latitude north of the equator. The other 2 are the north and south poles. So these are just some of it, and all of these different things overlay each other and work with each other to create these different centers of geologic energy that pass through the Earth's oceans and many times in straight lines. Earth is complex. It's the bearer of all life that we know about, and all these energies kind of end up being like the Earth's nervous system. These energies also can cause something called geopathic stress. Geopathic stress represents a distortion of the natural frequency by weak electromagnetic fields created by streams of water flowing underground, geological fault lines, underground caverns, cosmic forces, meteorology, certain mineral deposits, notably coal, oil, and iron. Also, gold and silver can cause this. It's something that's been known throughout time, and in many ancient cultures, shepherds were brought in with their sheep to test an area. If the sheep avoided the area or refused to eat, it was looked at as possibly an unwise place to build, and a new area was sought. These stresses can be either beneficial or harmful to people. Not everyone is affected by it the same way, but the longer you're in an area that has geopathic stress, the more it can affect you. Is any of this information used today? Yeah, actually it is, and you'd be surprised at the people that are using it. Since so many scholars downplayed it in the beginning, and now it's really not talked about that much, you would be surprised to know that the oil industry has taken an interest in it. I found a paper below. I'll link it in the description box. I'm not going to read it to you, but I'm just going to read a little excerpt so that you can understand that, yes, there are key players that believe in these energies and think that you can benefit by paying attention to them. Geophysicists have known for decades that there are electrical currents in the earth, and that these electrical currents are modified by natural resources which can be resistive, fresh water, aquifers, oil, gas, salt, etc., or conductive, brines, clays, minerals like copper, iron, lead, zinc, gold, and rare earths, kimberlite pipes, etc. One of the earliest documents we found in a U.S. patent applied for on the 2nd of August 1940 by Harvey C. Hayes for doing electrical prospecting. This patent sets forth a method to determine the probable boundaries of oil-bearing formations along with their depths and inclinations. Specifically, a set of 5 surface profile locations are shown crossing the Rhodesia Fault area of Louisiana, where there are oil-bearing sands at depth. The 5 profiles show the derived potential differential profile curves, which correlate to the extent of production shown on the map. Soil analysis work of Sokolov and Milgevsky in Russia show halo-like concentrations of hydrocarbons at the surface, outlining the limits of underlying oil-bearing structures. Within the halo, both methane and ethane gases are found in measurable quantities. According to the inventor, it appears the lighter the hydrocarbon components tend to slowly seep towards the surface. This may cause an electromotive force. So I do think that's interesting. Oil and gas, big companies that make crazy amounts of money see the benefit of knowing the unseen forces that are around it. Also, it is said that many military installations, hydroelectric and nuclear installations, fall on ley lines. So why don't the rest of us use this knowledge or even know about it? Well, that's for another video. It was kept from us, as many things are, and we'll go over that sometime next week. I just want to say thank you for coming. Please give me a like or let me know if I'm wrong, because I was studying the crap out of this. I didn't want to leave anything out because I know it's just, there's more to it than, oh, there's straight lines or curvy lines. It's the earth's chakras. It's a lot more than that. There is so much happening that kind of compound why energy is concentrated in these areas. The ley lines, when you do look at them, or if you call it, I mean, whatever you want to call it, you can call it the chakras, do have a wave pattern. Again, it reminds me so much of the sound in the ether that Tesla was talking about in the other video. So anyway, tell me what you think. I'll try to find some graphs and maps that I can put in here. And yeah, all right, have a great day.